Twin Earth Lodges, Beneath the Mounds. Title: Beneath a handful of platform mounds in the American Southeast lie the buried floors of council architecture 1,000 years old. This film reconciles two research passes into one merged, graded catalog of pre-mound twin Earth lodges of square configuration and tests worldwide how far that pattern truly extends. Part 2, the three criteria. Three criteria define the target. Pre-mound, the building must be stratigraphically sealed beneath layer mound construction. Twin, two contemporaneous buildings deliberately paired, ideally joined by a passage. And square, a square or sub-square plan, including the rounded corner form of the Appalachian summit. Part 3, grading key. Grade A requires all three criteria. Grade B is a pre-mound square lodge standing alone. Grade C, any two criteria. Grade D is kept for comparative discipline only. The evidence labels proven, strong, supported, unresolved, contradicted, grade the match, claim itself, never the site's fame. Part 4, Garden Creek Type Case. The type case is Garden Creek Mound Number 1 in Haywood County, North Carolina. Pisgah phase, roughly AD 1000 to 1250, excavated by the Cherokee Project in the mid-1960s, and prior to that, by the Valentines, reported also by Keel and Dickens. It remains the only unambiguous Grade A occurrence identified anywhere, and one correction stands on the record. The twin lodges lie beneath Mound Number 1, not Mound Number 2. Garden Creek, the plan. Two square earth lodges stood side by side. The first, about 24 square feet, is floor cut just over 2 feet down. The second, about 28 square feet, entered only through the smaller lodge, an anteroom guarding the inner chamber. Boulder mantle, midden, clay caps, and collapse sealed them beneath a rising platform. Evidence grade proven. Number 6, Beaver Dam Creek. Georgia's Beaver Dam Creek Mound may hold a second pairing. Mariachi's table, drawn on Rudolph and Haley, lists two square below mound structures, roughly 56 and 38 square meters. Whether they stood together or one replaced the other is not yet settled. Pre-mound square architecture supported. True twinnings unresolved. The first archival pull is on the register. Part 7, Grade B, the single lodges. Grade B gathers the single pre-mound lodges. Town Creek in North Carolina, a rectangular earth-embanked lodge beneath the mound, strong. The Upper Savannah Townhouse at Cayuga, Tugalo, Estado, a square with rounded corners. At basal stages, supported. Six Toes Field, reported but unverified. And the basal buildings beneath Hiawassee Island. Part 8, Moundville, Mound 5. The strongest true pairing after Garden Creek fails one criterion. On the summit of Moundville's Mound 5, Knight documented two conjoined foundations linked by a tunnel. The principal building square, clay embanked, with oversized roof supports, dating to the early 1400s. Paired and square, but built atop the mound, not beneath it. Grade C, and that distinction is the lesson. Ocmulgee, Hiawassee summits. Two or more anchors at Grade C. Ocmulgee's Macon Plateau Lodge, circular, 42 feet across, and its eagle effigy platform, clay bench, and central fire basin, the canonical southeastern Earth Lodge. Its dating now flagged unresolved between the conventional floor date near AD 1015 and a recent revision. And at Hiawassee Island, successive summits carried two public buildings side by side, recurring twinning up the mound. Number 10, Sia Pricer Mound. The closest Hopewell analog lies under the Sia Pricer Mound in Ohio, a big house over 45 meters long, a large subrectangular chamber and a smaller one, and a round chamber conjoined in file. The pre-mound and compound, but its function was a mortuary, and a compound is not a twin. Number 11, the first ring worldwide, widening the lens, earth lodges are circular and domestic. The Central Plains square houses repeat the square, earth lodge, earth-covered plan, but they never are under a mound. Southwest kivas offer paired ceremonial chambers and formal ritual closure without mound entombment. Mesoamerican's Popol Vuh gives the council function and its platforms entomb earlier buildings in masonry, not earth. Number 12, outer ring worldwide. The strongest sequence analog anywhere is Andean, and the Kotochmito tradition, 5,000 years old. Square ritual chambers with central hearths, ritually infilled and entombed beneath the next construction. The sequence matches, the twinning does not. Jomun pit halls, Hogshan's chambered temple beside its mound precincts, Europe's sunken buildings and chambered barrows, Brazil's oversized pit houses, each share a fragment, none carries the whole. The twin phenomenon. Y2, the historic Southeast was pervasively dual. Red, white moieties, war and peace, the open summer square ground against the closed winter rotunda, Garden Creek's link pair, Moundville's tunnel, Hiawatha's twin summits, all invite that reading. The ethnohistory is strong. Its projection 1,000 years back remains, by our own standard, unresolved. Number 14, the developmental spine. The spine now reads pre-mound earth embanked lodges, then mound summit townhouses, sometimes paired, then the proto-historic townhouses of Coweta Creek and Chota-Tennessee, then the documented Creek Square Ground and Rotunda. Rudolph's reclassification does not break the chain. The continuity runs through function and through the burial and succession behavior itself. Number 15, findings. Both passes converge on one negative and one positive finding. There is no worldwide class of twin earth lodges. The strict paired corpus is the southeastern U.S., and therefore the ancestry of the council house, the townhouse, the square ground, is local, old, and stratigraphically demonstrable, visible in the ground at Garden Creek by roughly 81,000. 16 credits. Barrows Research. Addendum A, Version 1. Sources include Keel, Dickens, Rudolph, Haley, Knight, Lewis, Nieberg, Fairbanks, Boudreaux, Roding, Scholl, Swanton, Berger, Grieger. 8 unresolved register items govern the next revision. This presentation examines one source-critical question. What evidence links Opothleyahola to the Creek Square Grounds, clans, and the survival of the Muskogee cultural order in Oklahoma after removal in the Civil War? The answer is strong, but it has to be stated carefully. The record links him to the Square Grounds order as a speaker, defender, and carrier of the people, not as a personal founder of every later Oklahoma ground. Slide 2. The core finding is this. Opothleyahola stands at the human hinge between the old Upper Creek Talwa order and the survival of the Creek Square Ground culture in Oklahoma. The strongest wording is institutional, not legendary. He carried and defended the people and the political ceremonial order from which the Oklahoma Square Ground survived. The evidence begins at Tuckbatchee. The combined report identifies Opothleyahola as a Muskogee Creek leader born in Tuckbatchee and as a speaker for the Upper Creek National Council. Tuckbatchee was not just a settlement. It was treated as an Upper Creek ceremonial anchor tied to the busk, the square ground, the sacred fire, and the council system. That gives the first chain, person, town, and institution. Next comes Swanton. In the year 1931, John R. Swanton published Modern Square Grounds of the Creek Indians. He had visited the Creek country in 1929 to record the organization of the living square grounds. He listed 17 Creek Square Grounds then existing, including Takabachi at Jaeger. This matters because the study documents survival, not extinction. The direct link is Swanton's discussion of town offices. He describes a career path from warrior to Amala to Tastanagi and finally to Opothleyahola, the war speaker. He then identifies Opothleyahola as the man who occupied that position. Swanton adds that he was not a Miko of the town, but his influence was greater than that of any Miko. This is the best direct square ground link. The square ground was more than a ceremonial courtyard. Swanton describes it as a clan, an office system. The cabins or beds seated clans, groups of clans and officials. The Miko had a chief's bed. The Hinlahalgi were usually the Wind clan and another white clan. Some officials were replaced by someone from the same clan. That makes the square ground a living structure of social order. The clan evidence is also real, but it must be handled cautiously. Swanton's genealogy section says one genealogy is especially important because it includes the famous orator Opothleyahola. The page places him inside a clan marriage diagram and appears to associate him with the potato line. The safe phrase is genealogy-based clan association, not a final personal clan assignment. The survival evidence becomes strongest in Swanton's Oklahoma fire passage. For Okchai, Swanton records that the fire was brought from Alabama during the Great Migration. New fire was kindled from it, and he says that this was the very spot where they first placed their square in Oklahoma, and it had not been moved. That is direct continuity: fire, place, town, identity, and ceremony, crossing removal. The Civil War evidence shows why survival requires leadership. The combined report describes Opothleyahola rejecting the Confederate alliance and leading loyalist Creeks aligned people north under pressure. The winter campaign included Round Mountain, Chusto, Talasa, and Chustinala, followed by the brutal fight to Kansas. The point is not simply martyrdom, it is a cultural survival under maximum pressure. The timing matters. Federal policy tried to suppress Native ceremonial life after 1883. Yet Swanton documents a living Creek square ground in 1931, before the 1934 policy reversal. That means that the same ceremonial order that had been forced west, pressured, criminalized, was still visible and functioning in Oklahoma. The evidence grading is clear, direct and strong. Swanton places Opothleyahola in the Opothleyahola, or war speaker, office system, direct but cautious. The genealogy page links him into the clan system, likely with a potato association. Strong continuity. Swanton documents Oklahoma square grounds with fire, busk, medicine, dance, and clan seating. Strong but indirect. Opothleyahola defended the people and order that survived. The conclusion is a careful sentence. Opothleyahola carried and defended the people and the political ceremonial order from which the Oklahoma square grounds survived. That wording is stronger than saying he founded the grounds. It is source critical, defensible, and powerful. The speaker did not merely lead the people, he helped keep the fire.